Welcome to our channel. This video is part of a series based on the CITB book called Health, Safety and Environment Test for Operatives and Specialists. We guarantee that watching these videos is all you need to do to prepare for your final test. In each video, we will briefly cover a section's key points and then ask questions directly from the CITB book. This video focuses on Section 14, Working at Height. To make it easy to move through the video series, you will find a link in the top right corner. The actual CSCS test usually takes about 45 minutes, and you need to answer at least 45 out of 50 questions correctly to pass. Before we dive in, please support us by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. We appreciate it. Let us learn together.
Work at height is defined as work at any height where a person could fall and be injured. Every year, falls from height kill more construction workers than any other type of accident. Work at height should be avoided where possible. All equipment for working at height should be inspected before use. If you are involved in work at height, your employer should ensure that you have sufficient information, instruction and equipment so that you can work safely. There should always be a rescue plan if people are working at height. If you feel that the task you are completing at height is unsafe, stop work and report it to your supervisor. It would be classed as working at height if you were standing on the back of a lorry during loading or unloading activities. One of the leading causes of injury on construction sites is as a result of workers being struck by falling objects. Do not attempt to erect, alter or dismantle a mobile access tower unless you have been trained and you are authorized to do so. Make sure that there are no people, tools or equipment on a mobile access tower before you attempt to move it. The erection, alteration, inspection and dismantling of scaffolding should only be carried out by trained and authorized persons. Personal fall arrest equipment is designed to minimize the consequences if a fall occurs and will only protect an individual worker. All roofs should be treated as fragile until a competent person has confirmed they are not. Safe access and a safe working platform should be provided for all work on fragile roofs. Where should vehicles be loaded and unloaded? On an upward slope. On level ground. On a downward slope. On uneven ground. What is the purpose of a one-way system at a loading or unloading area? To eliminate the need to reverse. To allow faster speed limits. To reduce the speed limits. To increase the need to reverse. Accidents on site are often caused by materials falling from vehicles during what process? Refueling, repainting, cleaning, unloading.
What should you do if you find a ladder that is damaged? Don't use it and make sure that others know about the damage. Don't use it and report the damage at the end of your shift. Try to mend the damage before using it. Use it if you can avoid the damaged part.
Which image shows the safest method for using a stepladder?
Which image shows the safe use of a ladder? What angle should a leaning ladder be used at?
According to the work at height regulations, when can ladders be used for work? If it is high-risk work for long periods of time. A ladder must never be used on site. If it is low-risk work for a short period of time. When other people do not need to use it for access. Who should check a ladder before it is used? The site manager, the manufacturer, a site safety officer, the person who is going to use it. What is the best way to make sure that a ladder is secure and will not slip? Secure it at the top. Secure it at the bottom. Wedge the bottom of the ladder with blocks of wood. Ask someone to stand with their foot on the bottom rung. What is the correct way to climb a ladder? By having 2 people on the ladder at all times. Only using the ladder when wearing a safety harness. Having 2 points of contact with the ladder at all times. Having 3 points of contact with the ladder at all times. How many people are allowed on a ladder at the same time? Only 1 person. A maximum of 2 people. 3 people, if it is long enough. 1 person on each section of an extension ladder. Which one of the following is not true when using podium steps? Podium steps are safe and can't topple over. Podium steps should be inspected before use. Podium step wheels must be locked before you get on. Podium steps can easily topple if you overreach sideways. Which of these statements is true about using a ladder to access a scaffold platform? All broken rungs must be clearly marked. 2 people must be on the ladder at all times. It must be wedged at the bottom to stop it slipping. It must be secured and extend at least 1 metre above the platform.
What should you do if you need to use a mobile access tower but the brakes don't work? Use some wood to wedge the wheels and stop them moving. Do not use the tower. Only use the tower if the floor is level. Get someone to hold the tower while you use it.
What is the correct way to reach the working platform of a mobile access tower? Climb up the ladder built into the tower. Climb up the outside of the diagonal bracing. Lean a ladder against the tower and climb up that. Climb up the tower frame on the outside of the tower.
A mobile access tower must not be used on what surface? Soft or uneven ground. A paved patio. An asphalt road. A smooth concrete path.
Which of the following is the safest method of accessing a mobile access tower? Climbing up the outside of the tower. Climbing a ladder inside the tower. Climbing a ladder outside of the tower. Climbing a rope on the outside of the tower. Which one of the following statements is true when referring to the wheels on mobile access towers? The wheels should be locked at all times. The wheels should be locked when the tower is in use. The wheels should be locked when the tower is being moved. The wheels should only be locked at the end of the day. Which one of the following is a safe way of moving a mobile access tower? Towing with a site vehicle with a tow rope attached to the base. Using manual effort, pushing only from the base. Using manual effort to pull from the top and the base. Towing with a site vehicle with a tow rope attached to the top. When assembling a mobile access tower near overhead electric cables, which one of the following statements is true? The cables can be treated as dead if the work is going to take less than 30 minutes. The cables must be treated as live until it is confirmed they are dead. The cables do not present a danger because mobile access towers are insulated. Personal protective equipment, PPE, will keep workers safe until it is confirmed that the cables are dead. When working at height in a mobile elevating work platform, MEWP, over or near to deep water, which item of personal protective equipment, PPE, should be worn? Wellington boots, life jacket, full face respirator, full body harness. What should a harness's lanyard be attached to when working in a mobile elevating work platform, MEWP? The control box, the MEWP handrail, a point on the structure or building you are working on, a designated anchor point within the platform or basket. A worker has been asked to operate a mobile elevating work platform, MEWP, but has no training. What should they do? Get the work done as quickly as possible. Ask a workmate how to operate the MEWP. Tell their supervisor that they have no training. Operate the MEWP at break time when no one is around. A mobile elevating work platform, MEWP, must not be used on what surface? An asphalt road, a smooth concrete path, soft or uneven ground, a concrete road. A worker is wearing a harness in a boom-type mobile elevating work platform, MEWP, sometimes known as a cherry picker. Which one of the following should the harness have? A work restraint lanyard clipped to an attachment point in the basket. A work restraint lanyard clipped to the handrail of the basket. A fall arrest lanyard clipped to the structure being worked on. A full restraint lanyard clipped to the control box of the machine. What does this symbol on a mobile elevating work platform, MEWP, show? The location of the lowering controls for use in emergency. The location of the points where workers can lean over the platform. The guardrail height. The safe method of exiting the platform. Which one of the following should a worker do if a mobile elevating work platform, MEWP, does not allow safe access to the place of work? Stand on the guardrails. Use a step ladder on the platform. Inform a supervisor that a larger MEWP is needed. Put pallets on the working platform.
What should you do if you are required to use access equipment that you have not been trained to use? Do the job if it won't take long. Get a ladder instead. Stop work and speak to your supervisor. Ask someone else to do it.
If you are working on a flat roof, what is the best way to stop yourself from falling over the edge? Use red and white tape to mark the edge. Put a large warning sign at the edge of the roof. Protect the edge with a guardrail and a toe board. Ask someone to watch you and shout when you get too close to the edge. Who should complete pre-use checks on ladders or other equipment used for working at height? The employer. The worker using the equipment. The supervisor. The site manager. Which two of the following statements are true about working on a roof? It is safe to try to walk near underlying roof supports. Wired glass roof panels are likely to be fragile. It is easy to see which roof surfaces are likely to be fragile. Workers should not work on a roof where there is no protection from falls. Asbestos and fibre cement roof sheets are unlikely to be fragile. What does the following sign mean? Fragile roof. Deep water. Safety boots must be worn. No running. A fragile roof needs to be repaired. Which of the following would be regarded as the safest method? Workers work from underneath using a mobile elevating working platform, MEWP. Workers access the roof by walking as close as possible to the underlying roof supports. Workers working on the roof wearing safety boots and helmets. Workers work from underneath using ladders and ropes for anchoring. Which one of the following statements is true of a person who has fallen and is suspended in a fall arrest harness? They will need to be rescued quickly. There will be no reason to call an ambulance. They will be safe in the harness for over an hour. They should be left to rescue themselves. Which one of the following statements is true of painting wooden ladders used in construction? Ladders should be painted orange to make them more visible. Ladders should never be painted as this could hide defects or damage. It is a good idea to paint ladders because this protects them. It is advisable to paint ladders to prevent them being stolen. A worker is storing materials above toe board height on a scaffold. How should people below be protected? Shout a warning to anyone passing below. Use string to secure the materials. Halt the work when people are approaching. Use a brick guard or suitable mesh netting. Under which one of the following circumstances is it safe for a worker to remove a protective cover from a deep service hole on site? The worker is wearing a safety helmet and waits until everyone else has left the site. The worker is authorized to do so and is protected from falling whilst the cover is not in place. The worker is wearing high-vis and has told a few people on site that the cover will be removed. The worker has placed a safety cone by the hole so people will avoid the area. What is the maximum length of time that a worker should work from a stepladder in one position? Less than 30 minutes. Less than 1 hour. Less than 90 minutes. Less than 2 hours. Which one of the statements about storing materials on a working platform is correct? Materials can be stored unsecured, but they must be above guardrail height. Materials do not need to be secured if they are going to be there for less than an hour. Materials can be stored anywhere, even if they pose a trip hazard or block the walkway. Materials must be stored so they can't fall, and the platform must be able to take their weight.
What is the best way to stop people being hit by falling tools and materials when you are working above them? Make sure they are wearing safety helmets. Tell them you will be working above them and erect signs. Exclude people from below the work area with fencing and signs. Only allow authorized people underneath the work area. If you need to stack materials on a working platform, what is the best way to stop them falling over the toe board? Have brick guards or netting fitted to the edge. Put a warning sign on the stack. Build the stack so that it leans away from the edge. Cover the stack with polythene.
To ensure the public is not put at risk from falling materials for the duration of work, what may be necessary? Pavement closure or diversion. Giving the public hard hats. Making pedestrians use the road. Giving the public high-vis clothing. If a person is struck by a falling object, what could be the negative consequence? They get fired. They get injured. They get a promotion. They get compensation. What piece of personal protective equipment, PPE, should be worn on sites where there is a risk of falling objects? Protective goggles. Hard hat. High-vis clothing. A safety harness. When is it safe to cross a fragile roof? Only when you can see fragile roof signs. Only if you do not walk on any plastic panels. When crawling boards with handrails are available to use. At any time, as long as you walk along the line of the bolts. What does this sign mean? Fragile roof. Take care when walking on roof surface. Load-bearing roof. The surface can be slippery when wet. Load-bearing roof. You can stand on the surface but not on any roof lights. Fragile roof. Use fall protection measures and do not stand directly on the roof.
What is the best way to stop people falling through voids, holes, or fragile roof panels? Tell everyone where the dangerous areas are. Place secure, load-bearing covers over the dangerous areas and add warning signage. Cover the dangerous areas with safety netting and tell everyone to be careful. Mark the dangerous areas with red and white warning tape.
A material that may hide fragile surfaces has been applied to a roof. What action should be taken? Nothing. The material applied should be fine. The fragile areas should be clearly marked and protected. Nothing. Workers should know to be careful. The fragile areas should be painted green. Which one of the following surfaces is not likely to be fragile? A reinforced concrete roof. A fibre cement sheet roof. A glass panel roof. A slate-tiled roof. A scaffold guardrail must be removed to allow you to carry out a task. If you are not a scaffolder, can you remove the guardrail? Yes, if you put it back before you leave the site. Yes, if you put it back as soon as you have finished. No, only a scaffolder can remove the guardrail and put it back. No, only a scaffolder can remove the guardrail, but you can put it back. How can the safe load rating for a scaffold platform be identified? By asking the telehandler driver. By asking the principal contractor. Referring to the handover certificate or signage. The safe load is breached when the ledgers start to deflect. What should you do if you think that the scaffolding you are working from is not safe? Report it to your supervisor at the end of the shift. Try to make the repairs yourself and then report it to your supervisor. Report your concerns to your supervisor straight away. Ignore it and wait for the scaffolders to identify any problems.
What should you do if you notice your harness or attachment is damaged? Stop and tell your supervisor straight away. Use it and tell your supervisor at the end of the day. Use a colleague's harness instead. Stop and tell your supervisor, but carry on using it until it is replaced.
What is an inertia reel? A retractable fall arrestor. A horizontal fall arrestor. A pulley-operated fall arrestor. A rope-based fall arrestor. Which of the following best describes the purpose of personal fall prevention equipment? It is designed to prevent falls from occurring. It is designed to minimize the consequences if a fall occurs. It is designed to protect more than one person if a fall occurs. It is designed to be used in confined spaces only. When are personal fall arrest systems to be used? Only as a last resort. The majority of the time. In the morning. During a night shift. Who should know how to carry out pre-use checks on fall arrest equipment? The site managers. All workers who use it. All workers on site. The apprentice workers.
Congratulations! You are a step closer to success. Keep learning until you reach your goal. You can find a link in the top right corner to go to the next video.